this just came out 2 years ago, and people still haven't heard of FBA, which is now 10 years old, right? Like, people haven't heard of these things. It's difficult to keep up with other industries. Like, if you're in the gaming industry, like, keeping up with on-demand garment products on Amazon isn't something you're probably doing, right? But if you can say, hey, I need to monetize, and maybe that's a better way to put it. I can help people monetize their strengths, or I can help people monetize their businesses. You know, when I see YouTubers with 8 million subscribers and a Patreon with some begging perks, like, I will mail your mom a Valentine's Day card for $6. I'm like, dude, you have no better way to make money? You have 8 million subs.
Hey, what's going on, everybody on YouTube and everybody listening on iTunes? What's happening? Welcome to episode number 34 of the Raiken Profit Show. Today we have Chris Green on the show. And Chris Green he's an awesome guy. I've known him for probably 4 or 5 years. He's the author of quite a few awesome books pertaining to online arbitrage, merch by Amazon. He has a merch by Amazon Facebook group with 54,000 people in it. One of the first people who taught pretty much the entire community about Amazon FBA with his initial book and everything, and just a great guy. Really, really happy to have you here, Chris. And yeah, man, what's new, man? Happy 2018.
Yeah, man. Happy New Year. How you do 34 episodes before you get me on your show, man? Like, you know, I'm just a phone call away, man.
Hey, man, you know, it's just, it was long overdue, man. It was like, it's funny how I pick my guests. It's just like, I'll like go through my Facebook and there's like a million awesome people. It's like, okay, pick. And it's like, finally I saw you and I'm like, what the heck? Why have I not reached out?
What happens though, man? Because I think we've known each other longer than that, because we go back pretty far. I have to look back. Maybe we can find like our first Facebook message or something, or I'm sure Facebook keeps track of you've been friends. Like our friend anniversary must be coming up on Facebook. So we'll be able to check when we first became Facebook friends. But when you're in this game, whether you want to call it the Amazon game or the entrepreneur game or the hustle game, I don't care what kind of game you want to call it, you end up meeting a lot of awesome people. And that's where you're like, dude, I got a whole Rolodex. You know, for those who remember what a Rolodex is, that's actually a bolo. You can flip those from the thrift store now. You know, you meet all these people, and you know, it can, I don't want to say too many people, but you can have so many people that you're like, this is great. You know, I can call on so-and-so for their expertise in this. I can like set my show for this. And there's really only one way to get that. And that's to, you know, go out and meet people and be in the game and make some mistakes and share some successes. And just, I mean, there's no shortcuts to that. And knowing people, it's like your network is your net worth kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I think both of us would say we're very blessed to know a lot of very smart, very successful people. And a lot of people who have made lots of mistakes. I don't want anybody to think that oh, we're on YouTube, so we're, you know, infallible and we've never made a bad buy. You know, learn from our bad buys the same way that we learn from the people in our network, the mistakes that they've made. So when we ask them a question like, no, don't do that because of this, or yeah, do it, but do it this way. Like that's just such incredibly valuable information to know what to do and know what not to do. It's fun. It's been an amazing. I've been in the Amazon game over 10 years now. It seems weird to say a decade, wow. Right? Like that's a long time. That's like, you know, before I had kids, I'm like, wow, I don't even remember life before kids, you know. But I was doing the eBay and that Amazon hustle even back then.
Wow, man. So 10 years. That's absolutely crazy. So going back 10 years, did you start with eBay? Was that the first thing that you had kind of learned about?
Yeah. I sold on eBay first. I was selling wrestling figures when like the peak of WWF, before they changed WWE popularity, the Stone Cold days, like when Stone Cold, Steve Austin was like the man. They had all these exclusives and they had like variants and they had all these things. So I would buy and sell on eBay with like the money orders, right? And you had to like go cash them and it'll wait like now. I mean, I get stuff I could order it today. It'll be here tomorrow from Amazon, right? That was unheard of back then. This is back in like the 90s, like 99. So this would be like win an auction, then maybe that day, probably the next day, go to the post office and mail the money order, wait for that to arrive, them to get it, cash it, make sure it's legit, then maybe they're going to ship same day. Probably not, probably the next day. And then it takes a few days to get there. And you're like, wow, this is so fast. Could you imagine? Like if I had to do that today, I just wouldn't do it. Right? Like,
absolutely.
If I had to order something, like if I need a new pair of headphones, I was like, man, I don't need them that bad to send a money order in the mail and then wait like possibly 2 weeks. But that we accepted it back then because that was reality, and we have a new reality now. So we just live in the reality, and I'm just thankful for it. I'm thankful for the speed and the shipping, and Amazon gives so many people these opportunities, whether you're as a shopper, as a customer, as a consumer, or as an author, or as a seller, or as an entrepreneur, any kind of hustler. And it's kind of been what I've been known for, going from eBay to Amazon to software vendor to author to t-shirt designer. All along the way, there's like the common thread of, wait a minute, I enjoy this stuff, and I enjoy helping other people find success with this stuff. And that's kind of where I fit in. And I keep going back to Amazon because that's where the customers are. And they have
You got the hat.
Dude, you can't buy this anymore. Do you know that? Like I should have bought like 24 of these. They come back in stock every now and then. I've got my Keep Alert set up because it's not going to last forever. I mean, I keep it in pretty good condition, but I've only got one, and you wear it, it's going to wear out eventually. So we should get that link. Maybe we'll put the link in the video below. You guys can check to see. This is an official Amazon gear hat. You can get straight from Amazon. Well, that's where the customers are, right? Like we talk about CreateSpace and Kindle and merch. Those are no cost platforms where you sell products, and when they sell, you get a royalty. Like that's so good. People don't believe it, right? And then you got selling, right? Customers, like I go to Amazon first, and if it's not Prime, I'm not buying it. But as sellers, we can send our products in and have it available for Prime, and we can sell and scale up our business without having to run a fulfillment center, which is boring work, right? Let Amazon do all that. Not to mention you're going to get more sales because now you're Prime eligible. Dude, I got something, seller fulfilled Prime. Have you ever dealt with seller fulfilled Prime?
I've seen it before.
All right, so you know what it is?
Yes.
All right, so
that's like a higher quality merchant, right? They've almost, in a sense, they've proven themselves. So now they get that stamp, that Prime stamp.
Right. So they will ship Prime within the Prime guidelines. So they'll ship fast. They can ship it. So they know where orders are coming from. So like if it's within 2 days, it's only going to be offered on those listings, very specific. So if it's in New Jersey, it's not going to show as Prime. In California, stuff like that. I ordered something. It was Prime. I didn't know it was seller fulfilled Prime. I thought it was just FBA. And it shipped so fast. It shipped in like 20 minutes, right? Because I get the text alerts on my phone. So I was like, wow, Amazon's stepping up their game. But it turns out it was seller fulfilled Prime, which makes sense. Because when I was packing my own boxes, like for eBay and Amazon, if I'm printing shipping labels before I go out and pack, because that was kind of our flow, and I got an order, I'd print it right there and I'd go out and ship it. And you could literally get your shipping notification in under 10 minutes if that's when you ordered. And maybe that's it must have been what happened, right? Because within 20 minutes. Or they have a system set up where they print and they upload the tracking number. I don't know. Probably a pretty big operation. It's difficult to get seller fulfilled Prime, but you can imagine how powerful that is, right? Because now you get the Prime eligibility, which means you're going to get those extra, sales that what I call the FBA bump, without having to commit the money and inventory to Amazon system. So you can have it there. Maybe it's an on-demand product, right? Right? I'm not the Amazon police. You're supposed to have products in stock. But if it's an on-demand product that you can make in 5 minutes, or if you can make in 6 hours, or if you can make in the time to hit that shipping window, now you can offer on-demand, no-cost inventory, Prime eligible. Because that's the one rub if you want to do on-demand stuff that's not through Amazon, like merch and CreateSpace and stuff like that. Is like, yeah, you can do Amazon custom and handmade, but you're not going to be Prime eligible unless you can ship wicked fast. So there's some of these overlaps that are happening now on all these Amazon platforms, and it's just exciting to watch and see, like, what can we take from here and tie it together here and do this. And hey, you're really good at that. Hey, have you heard of this platform? Those are the conversations that I have a lot of, and it's kind of what I feel my sweet spot is to helping people.
Cool. Awesome. So, one thing we want you guys to know is there's so many different opportunities with Amazon, all these different platforms, and we're going to be covering them all from, the FBA centers to CreateSpace, Kindle Publishing, Amazon Video. I'm sure there's some other ones that I'm missing, but we're going to cover all these things. But the goal being not for you guys to watch this like, okay, I'm going to go do everything. Because I think honestly, having that shiny object syndrome and like dabbling in every single thing without really like getting good at one thing first is like a huge mistake. So we want you guys to, the main goal that we want to achieve is bring awareness to these opportunities, but then going in and really thinking and using self-awareness to ask yourself, what is best for me? What would work out for me? What's my personality? Maybe you're very creative. Maybe you like to do a lot of thinking, or you're analytical, or you enjoy dealing with, I don't know, putting deals together internationally. Wholesale might be good for you with Amazon. So we want, that's the main goal. I don't know. Did I miss anything on that, Chris?
No, there's tons of them. And I want people to also think about, hey, if I understand FBA, now I have information that can help other people, right? So you could help local businesses. You could help other sellers. How many prep centers have popped up, right? We're like, I would have never thought to have a prep center when FBA started. But people were like, dude, I'll prep your stuff. Like, that's a great idea to find these like kind of side businesses that fit in with the people who are using the platforms and the platforms themselves. And that's what people got to think of. And that's exactly what you just said is what we really need to focus on, not just as a New Year kind of resolution, but if I can share anything with my decade plus of experience with Amazon, it's you need to understand what you're good at and what you want to do and where you want to be, and then just be aware of all the platforms out there. And it's difficult. It's difficult for me, and that's basically my job, is to keep on top of all these things, right? Like, I get excited when I see an article about Amazon launches new whatever. I'm like, ooh, what is this? Because what I found I'm good at is I can find out how to make money with it and who can make money with it, right? Because there's two things, right? Because just because I know you can make money with it, maybe I'm not the one who can make money with it, right? Like, I'm not a graphic designer, but when I see merch, I'm like, dude, graphic designers should totally be using merch, right? Anybody with digital assets, anybody who's making video games should have their characters on merch t-shirts. So they're making video games. They don't know how to monetize. They're frustrated that no one downloads their game, or they do download, but only when it's free. Like, how do we make money? We want to keep coding. Dude, have you guys heard of merch by Amazon? The answer is always no. They haven't even heard of it.
Merch
Why?
by Amazon.
They're gamers, right? Like, this just came out 2 years ago, and people still haven't heard of FBA, which is now 10 years old, right? Like, people haven't heard of these things. It's difficult to keep up with other industries. Like, if you're in the gaming industry, like, keeping up with on-demand garment products on Amazon isn't something you're probably doing, right? But if you can say, hey, I need to monetize, and maybe that's a better way to put it. I can help people monetize their strengths, or I can help people monetize their businesses. When I see YouTubers with 8 million subscribers and a Patreon with some begging perks, like, I will mail your mom a Valentine's Day card for $6. I'm like, dude, you have no better way to make money? You have 8 million subs. Are you? And dude, test me. Everybody go out, find a successful YouTube channel. Look at the number of subscribers they got. Then go to their homepage, go up to the top, see if they have a little Patreon link. Go and see if they have support. See how much money they make every month off their patrons. And then look at their perks and see if they're begging. Are they begging perks, or are they good perks? Like, hey, I will help you set up your own YouTube channel for $500 a month. Be like, all right, yeah, I'll listen to this guy. And I tell you, you won't find many of those. You're going to find the
creativity. It takes creativity in a sense, and you really have to think about how can you add value and help somebody. It's almost like, I've seen that before too. And it's like they have a Patreon, or they're like, sometimes they don't even have a link to build an email list, or they're not selling anything whatsoever, which is fine. I mean, but if you're able to help somebody and you have that audience, you're almost doing a disservice.
It really is, because people want to buy your stuff, right? Like, I put out so much free content. When I help people get started with FBA, I was one of the first guys to kind of be vocal in public, saying, guys, here's how to do retail arbitrage. Here's how to do FBA. It was a little self-serving because I had software that I was providing, right? It wasn't you have to use this software, but I was happy to do it. And people ended up, they were like so thankful. They were like, dude, can I buy you something? Like, whenever we go to conferences, people are always buying food and drinks. And I'm like, guys, it's cool. I can buy my own beer. And I had to flip my kind of thinking on this, because I didn't realize what they were doing. They weren't buying me a beer because they're like, oh, dude, I'll get the beers because I'm a baller, or I'll get the beers because you can't afford it. I'll get the beers. No, that was their way of saying thanks, right? So I need to humble myself and be like, you're welcome, right? Like, I will take the beer and say you're welcome. That's how they're saying thanks. And some people say thanks that way. Some people say thanks by buying my books. They say thanks by buying my books and never reading them.
So true.
Right? They tell me, I never read it. I just bought it to say thanks. Right? So people want to buy something to say thanks. Sometimes they're going to buy your t-shirt. And that's it. So if you have a successful YouTube channel where you are providing education, or you are providing entertainment, or you're providing both, They're like, I like this guy. Yeah, I want to buy the t-shirt. And you don't push it all in their face, but you say, hey, at the end, you want to buy my merch? Here's a picture of the shirt. It's on Amazon. It doesn't cost you anything, right? This isn't investing in inventory. This isn't like fulfilling orders at the end of every video. Like, no, here's a link on Amazon. If you want to buy my stuff, great. If not, no big deal. And because it doesn't cost money, everybody should be doing it. But not, I don't say nobody. You heard of Shane Dawson?
Shane Dawson. Who is that again?
He's a very successful YouTuber. I think he's got over 10 million subs or something.
Okay.
His show is kind of about nothing, right? It's him and he talks about his stuff. He's entertaining, right? But like he's probably not for everybody, but he is hooked up with merch, or merch hooked up with him. And now he had like 6 of the top 8 selling merch shirts, at one time. And he wears them on his show, and his fans love it. And they buy his shirt. And now he gets a royalty check from Amazon every single month without having to ship a single shirt. And I don't know, I could probably find out who started that relationship, but that's the thing. If Shane Dawson's like, dude, I got this YouTube channel, I'd love to monetize it somehow, not for the sake of monetizing and being a baller, but being like, hey, if I monetize, I can have, better camera equipment. I can, have better editing. Maybe I could hire an editor so I can put higher quality videos out, and I can do, you could donate it all to charity, like do anything you want, but your fans, I promise, are trying to find ways to give you money. So give them that way, and then whatever you do with the profits, I don't care. I'm not the boss. I'm not someone's mama. Do what you want with it. Donate to charity or spend it on yourself. I don't care. You earned it. It's your money. Do what you want with it. But if you have an audience, or if you have a skill or a talent, then I can give you probably a dozen ways to make money, mostly around Amazon, because that's where the customers are. But if you have a talent in 2018 moving forward, you can make money. You just might not know how.
Hey, speaking of audiences, and right now we're recording on YouTube. For anyone who has a YouTube channel, what are your thoughts on Amazon Video? Maybe you could explain what Amazon Video is. I've tried it. I actually had a bad experience with it because I just couldn't get it to work. It was like so complicated. Man, I'm telling you, I hired people off of Upwork. I tried hiring people like left and right. Nobody could figure it out. And eventually it was just like an opportunity cost where I'm like, I can't keep spending all this time trying to figure this out. But maybe things have improved. That was over a year ago. Amazon Video, what is it? And what are your thoughts on it, Chris?
Well, everything will improve. It did come out, was it last year, or maybe it's a little more than a year ago? I remember it came out, and it was kind of billed as like Amazon's version of YouTube. Because you got, Amazon, and you've got Google, and you've got Apple, and everybody's kind of fighting, and Facebook, like to be the media, to be the place where you consume content and media. There's some people are loyal to Amazon. Some people prefer YouTube, so you want to have your content on multiple platforms, but you also want to time it right? So when Amazon, video, I think called Amazon Video Direct, when it comes out, there's a benefit to being first, being an early adopter, and being some of the only content there for people who are going to look. And there's also a downside to being early, because not everybody's looking there. They're still on YouTube. Like the number of people viewing YouTube videos versus Amazon Video Direct videos a year ago was, I don't know what the numbers were, but if it was, I bet it's 1,000 to 1, right? So you're going to go court the one early adopter, or are you going to like give your 1,000, fans on YouTube what they want? You got limited time, so you got to pick. But there is a benefit. There's a cost benefit as well to doing that. When I first looked at it, I didn't give up on it, but I stopped looking at it because it required subtitles. So for Amazon.
Oh my God. It was
driving
me
your head
crazy.
Yeah.
It was subtitles, and then they wanted all these other like different things uploaded. That was just pretty much impossible to get at the point for a small business.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they're going to make that easier and better. But what Amazon's thinking of, remember, what does Amazon love the best or the most? Customers. Customers. Their video creators, no, they're way down the list. Sellers, way down the list. Authors, way down the list. Merch designers, way down. They don't care. They honestly don't care about us at an emotional level. They care about their customers. So you can bet that everything around Amazon Video Direct was intended to benefit the customer, right? Now, they made it too hard to where they can't actually get any videos uploaded to benefit the customer. Then they'll revisit some things. So that was what I'm thinking. They require subtitles. Makes sense. Some people are hard of hearing. They need the subtitles, or they're going to want to watch it with no sound or whatever. Like, that makes sense. And they're requiring it. Like, they're going to force people to do what Amazon wants them to do, which is fine. But it takes more work. It takes more time and all these things. The benefit, or the creative kind of unique ways that you think of Amazon Video Direct, is you're on Amazon and you can make videos about your product. And maybe those videos are going to come up when someone searches for the product, instead of looking at, a product review or a product detail page, now they're going to watch the video, and that video is going to link back to the product. And wait a minute, now I can be a content creator around my own product, right? Not pimping, not commercials, but like, here's my review of this pool cleaner because I sell pool cleaners. And someone can watch it and be like, oh, I like how that works. I like how easy it is to clean the filter on that. I can't see that from the product page. And you're basically advertising with content on Amazon instead of on YouTube. And you got to send them over to Amazon. You got to hope they click on the link, the description, and then find nice and native, right? So it depends. And this is what I want people to think about. This is exactly what we talked about at the beginning. People need to think, okay, what am I trying to do? What am I good at? Does Amazon Video Direct fit into that? And if yes, spend time with it. If no, be okay not spending time with it, right? And that's a big struggle for me because I'm like, I want to figure this out. Man, I want to have the #1 video. I want to be like, I need to have my retail arbitrage videos on Amazon and they link back to my book and this and this. And like, yeah, but that's going to take time away from these other things. And it's, you got to be okay not doing that. And sometimes you're going to make the right decision. Sometimes you're going to make the wrong decision. You got to be okay with that.
I saw something come out. I don't know if it was like a joke or whatnot, but is there something coming out called like Amazon Tube or something like that? Did you?
Maybe that's what they called it.
Because I could have sworn I saw. I'm actually going to Google it really quick because I saw something come out about Amazon's. Yeah, Amazon files a trademark Amazon Tube. Came out the other day. Actually, that was December 19th. USA Today came out and said that. So
I'd be surprised if
YouTube-like service
name it that. I mean, it's not my business. To me, it doesn't sound good. To me, it sounds like they're trying to rip off YouTube a little too much.
Right.
But I mean, just if out for a trademark, it might be like, hey, if we want to, we'll use it. Not that they have to, right? Because it has Amazon in the name. If someone else tried to trademark it, they would lose. Amazon would just take it from them. But I mean, I don't like the name. But hey, if they like the name, maybe it'll come about. But it's it's a battle for content, for media. Where are people going to consume videos? Facebook's like, watch videos on Facebook. Amazon's like, no, watch videos on Amazon. YouTube, no, Google, watch YouTube's videos. Just what it is. Apple's got its own, TV and all this stuff. And Apple TV and Google and Fire Sticks and all these are now fighting and not, Amazon doesn't sell the Google, what's it called? The Chromecast, and Google kicks, Amazon's video app out of their store. Like, it's good. It's good for competition. It's bad for like some consumers who are like, dude, I just want to watch YouTube videos on my Fire Stick. I don't care that you guys are fighting, right? And it's just things just get weird. But that's big player stuff. That's not stuff that we're dealing with. But it'll all shake out.
Yeah, I mean, video. It's crazy, man. Over the last couple of years, how much like everything's transitioning to video now. Like video is huge. It's absolutely huge. I would say if you guys do have videos. Exactly. Cell phones. It's crazy. But if you do have videos, I think Amazon Video Direct, if you can figure it out, to be honest, I haven't been able to figure it out. Hopefully they make it easier. But I think that might be a good fit for you, especially if you're someone like me. I mean, I've got 1,000 videos on my YouTube channel. How cool would that be to get them all over to Amazon?
Dude,
but
that should be a service, right? Someone should step up, be like, make your video once, like record it live on Facebook. We will take it. We will clean it up. We will put bumpers on it. We will upload it to YouTube. We will upload it to.
Well, that would be phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, it's work, but like that's what everything is. Like, you just heard us talk about a problem. Now, if we can solve that problem, boom, we have a business, right? So no one should be like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what kind of business I should start. Like, I'm probably not going to start that business because that doesn't play to my strengths. Someone will. Someone will take the video and say, look. Yeah, I'll upload it everywhere. I'll upload it to all kinds of sites for this much per month. And we have our in-house video editing team. If you do your own editing and send us the video, it's less. It's like, just make it worth your while, But it's like if you have a problem or if you hear somebody has a problem, solve it. And then you have a business. And it's around Amazon. So this is another one of those things. Like, here's a real business around Amazon.
Awesome. So yeah, we talked about Amazon Video. We touched a little bit on Merch by Amazon. Can you explain to people again what Merch by Amazon is and the opportunity with it? Because I know you were essentially one of the pioneers, man. I remember that program came out. It was like open for like 3 days, and you had like a Udemy. I'm like, what the heck happened? Did you have some insight before? I have to ask you, like, how are you so well established to be like the guy who like. Because everyone want to know what the heck's Merch by Amazon. And it's like, boom, course, step by step. This is what it is. This is how to understand it. This is how to do it. And you are so early to the business. I mean, you positioned yourself with the Facebook, which you now have 54,000 members. I mean, it was amazing, dude, to see how you jumped on that. Like, I just had to ask you, how the heck did you know about that opportunity so quick? And then what is Merch by Amazon?
Well, dude, everybody should take notes, like you included, right? Because this wasn't some secret deal. This, like, it was announced. I didn't have any heads up. I didn't have any insider info. And it actually existed long before, and I hadn't even heard of it. It was for game developers to monetize their games on the Amazon App Store, which, you know, game developers, it can be difficult to monetize. So they said, well, what if we can make you, you know, some t-shirts and merch? Like, yeah, that'd be great. So then they can sell and link up to the t-shirts and the designs in their games. And if they sell, they don't have to do anything. Amazon does the work and they're going to make some money. Like, yes, this is great. Another potential revenue stream for game developers. That existed for like a long time. And I didn't know about it. I don't know if anybody else knew about it. But then they decided to open it up, right? And let anybody do this. It was on TechCrunch. It was like on all the websites. You kind of, you know, I'm sure they monitor Amazon a lot closer than I do. And when I saw it, I was like, whoa. Like, without a doubt, I knew where this was going. At least where I hoped it was going. They can change the platform anytime. Right? Like they could shut it down right now and say, no, it's not worth it. Right now, I don't believe that's going to happen, but everybody should keep that in mind. They can shut down FBA. They can stop taking new sellers to their warehouses. Like, that could happen. I don't think that's going to happen, but, you know, you never know. But as soon as I saw it, like, it just clicked. And it was the same way when FBA first came along, and I looked at the fees and I was like, this is a no-brainer. Like, who would not use FBA? I'm going to make more money per sale. I don't have to actually ship 140 boxes every day. And it's Prime eligible. Customers are going to get it faster. Of course, they're going to buy my stuff. I'm going to sell a ton more stuff. Like, no one had to convince me of FBA. But this is 10 years ago. And there were people back then who were like, no, I would never trust Amazon with my stuff. Or I'm really good at packing. Right. I'll do it myself. And I'm like, really? Like, but then you could not convince me otherwise. Like, it was no doubt in my mind where FBA was going. I could have been wrong. Right? So this isn't about a right versus wrong or like I'm so smart kind of thing. I could have been wrong. And I could have been wrong with merch. There was a time where merch considered like taking their top accounts and ditching everybody else because it wasn't worth it. Thankfully, they didn't. Right. But that was a conversation that happened. And if that had happened, my Udemy course and my books and all this stuff wouldn't make as much sense anymore. So it was a calculated bet, but it was also based on how I saw myself become this Amazon FBA kind of guru godfather guy completely by accident, right? I didn't know what I was doing, right? Like I joined Facebook groups and I joined Yahoo groups and I make videos and I write books kind of by accident. And all of a sudden, like, yeah, oh, Chris Green, he knows the most about it. I was like, I mean, I guess I do, but I didn't try to position myself that way. But hindsight, I could see what happened and what steps were taken to where I ended up in that position. So I said, well, I definitely want to be the merch guy because this is a bigger opportunity for more people because selling requires capital and inventory and returns and real commitment.
Right.
Merch by Amazon does not. You can upload an image. It can be a hashtag one-word t-shirt that you can make on an app on your phone. And if someone buys it, Amazon's going to print it and ship it and give you a royalty, right? So there's no like barrier to entry monetarily. It's very low risk. You can do the worst possible offenses on merch and you're just going to get kicked off, right? You're not going to go to jail. You're not going to have liability insurance claims. You're not going to have like a garage full of inventory and returns that now you can't sell. You're not going to have something from China that has lead in it. You're really stuck with like, no, it's merch. Like it's very low risk. So when I see that and my 10 years experience of, wait a minute, this can help a lot of people. A lot of people are going to have success with merch who may not have had success with selling and FBA and all that stuff. They may not live near stores that are trying to do retail arbitrage. They may live in an area of the country where there's not a lot of thrift stores. Those people trying to do eBay, but they can do merch at home. This is like the final. You have a computer, you're at home, you can make money. That's what merch is. And merch is changing. I love this about merch. It changes so fast. This change just came out last night. We can talk about it today. They're having a new approval process where you have to put in your tax information first. And they want to give you, because dude, that's going to cut down on everybody saying, give me an account. And then like they're completely fraud or they're requesting 40 accounts and they're selling them on the black market and they're uploading the same design. Like there's some goofy stuff going on behind the scenes.
Oh yeah.
And they say And I think I would expect them to put this as kind of a higher number than it's going to be. They want to have the approval or non-approval done in 60 days or less. I would be surprised if many go that long. I would hope they kind of get that process kind of streamlined. So now, I mean, if you've been following merch, it's been taking a year or more to get approved. And you're like, come on, I'm ready to go. I watched this video with Chris Green like 2 years ago. I'm hyped. And you can't get an account. So you're stuck. And now you're starting to get mad. Now you're mad at me, right? Now you're messaging. People think I run merch. Did you know that? People message me thanking me for enabling hoodies on their account. I was like, I don't, you're welcome, but I didn't do that, right? Like I wish. I
spending those late nights, spending those late nights approving everybody, man, for merch.
I give them a shout back like, hey man, I got you covered, man. What else you need? You know, but you know, it's changed. People think, you know, that I ran this thing for a while, which is fine, you know, but I always try to correct them. But it's changing. And if you can like now get your account approved in a month or two, it's a lot more exciting for a lot more people instead of they apply and then they kind of lose steam and they're frustrated, and you know, it's going to be a different process. It's the biggest money-making opportunity for the most people. And I selfishly say that, and that's why I made a Udemy course right away. That's why I wrote a book and published it right away, which you can do. If you know how it works, you can get these things up in like 24 hours.
Another Amazon income stream.
Exactly. I mean, I make money off the books. I mean, I make money off Udemy. I mean, I build a list so that I can tell them about other things that are coming up. But I'd say I'm in the business of helping people, and helping people is like the best business to be in, right? But I selfishly wanted to be the merch guy because this is an opportunity for so many people. And there's so many opportunities around it. You can make pre-made designs or templates and sell those. You can make software. Right now, there's no merch API, but here's a secret, guys. I'm sure there will be. So you can start making merch repricing software and merch intelligent pricing software that says, hey, launch at a cheap price. After I get 10 sales, start raising the price. Because we found that t-shirt pricing isn't that sensitive, right? So yeah, you'll probably sell more at a lower price, but it's not like, $17.99, now it's $19.99. I'm not really going to buy it. No, people want a t-shirt. They like the design. They're going to pay another $2. So if you're selling 100 t-shirts, you might as well raise it $2 and make another $200. You know, and without doing it all manually. By the time you have 8,000 designs, you know, it doesn't make sense. Imagine repricing 8,000 items manually through Seller Central. Yeah, like you'd want to go back and change it again before you even got to the end of the list. So things like that are going to start happening. So you can make repricing software, listing software. You know, it's wide open. Similar like when FBA just started, and we were the first with Scan Power, and we were the first mobile app. We were the first listing tool. We did all this stuff first, and it was fun, right? And then people saw, wait a minute, this is an incredible opportunity. So people started entering the market. And it's the same thing with merch. There's going to be a ton of people enter the market. There's going to be more Udemy courses. There's going to be more books. And it's, you know, people can decide where they want to plug themselves in as a designer, as a vendor, as a guru, as a YouTuber. There is a lot of money. We already talked about YouTubers. A lot of money to be made going to these YouTube channels and saying, hey, I'm guessing you would like to find a way to make more money, and use that Patreon trick to tell which ones are broke, right? Because if they're mailing Mother's Day cards to you handwritten for $6, they're broke. And say, look, I can help you make money. It's not going to cost you anything. You don't have to do a single thing other than I'm going to give you a couple links, put them in your videos, tell your viewers, I'm going to send you a shirt. You know, what size do you want? What color? Wear it in the videos if you want. I'll make the designs. I'll use your logo. I'll hire a designer myself and get you a badass looking shirt. And we'll put up on Amazon. And then when they sell, we're going to split the royalties. You don't have to do anything. It's that easy. Anybody with, and not just YouTubers, anybody with influence, just message someone on Instagram and be like, how much for a sponsored post? And if they have 200,000 subscribers and they say it's $50, be like, yeah, all day. I'll send you a t-shirt and you put the link in to your post for $50. Like, just straight up ask. Don't try to like beat around the bush and be like, hey man, I got this cool shirt. Maybe you wear it in a post. Nope. How much for a sponsored post? And they'll tell you, right? Like, if it makes sense, do it. And if it doesn't, don't do it. Like, we don't need to complicate this thing. But it's, you know, we're getting back on there's so many ways to use these platforms. We're just talking about merch. We touched on FBA. We're not going to have time to talk about CreateSpace and Kindle, which are probably two of the most powerful. Did you know sellers can now get the buy box in the book category? For new. That's new, man.
I think I heard that that was a little bit ago, right?
Yeah, less than a year, I'd say.
Yeah.
And that's huge. Absolutely huge. Because if I'm a publisher of my books and I get the new buy box through Amazon because they're through CreateSpace and Amazon owns CreateSpace and all that. But if I want to include my own bonus content, if I want to include a DVD or a CD or a flash drive or a unique redemption code, so I order them myself and I include that and send it back in FBA, I could not get the new buy box. They would have to go to other offers, this, and this, but not anymore. Now I can turn off Amazon as a sales channel, send mine in FBA, and now I'm the buy box with my inventory, which means I can include any perks that I want, right? Like it opened the door to so many more new things. And Kindle KDP now includes paperback, so you don't have to balance them both and have your CreateSpace paperback and your Kindle digital and tie them together and all this. Now it's all under KDP. Like things are changing and getting easier and faster, and it's exciting. Like this is the stuff that I get excited about. I don't get excited about, the wholesale sourcing. I don't get excited about containers and private label packaging. Some people do, and that's great. And they should just rock it and ignore me when I talk about CreateSpace. So I feel like we're hammering people with this, and it's important. You guys need to know that there's all these platforms out there. You know what you're good at. And if you don't know what you're good at, go ask your friends that don't lie to you. Okay. Your friends who aren't going to tell you what you want to hear, your friends who aren't afraid to tell you like it is, like your real friends. Ask them what you're good at and see what they say. And it might be something you don't like, right? Might be, no, I don't want to be good at that. Well, sorry, you're good at that, right? Might be something you haven't thought of before. But then he's like, wait a minute, I am good at graphic design. I do make pretty awesome, posters and handouts for the softball team. Because a lot of designers, they'll say they're not good at design. Like, so, you don't know what I'm talking about. Someone makes like a flyer for like the Boy Scout fundraiser, and it's dude, you made this at home? Like, yeah, it's really good. They don't realize they're good. They don't think they're good. They don't believe they're good. And you're like, dude, you should be making merch by Amazon t-shirts. No, I'm not good. I'm not that good. Either make them for yourself or offer up your services. Here's some examples of my work. I will make you a merch by Amazon design for $20, and they can crank it out in 10 minutes, right? And now they're making what, $120 an hour on their computer at home, any hours of the day, right? With no inventory, with no returns, no customer service. Well, you have customer service. You got, people ordering t-shirt designs. But that's the thing. Like, figure out where you want to plug yourself in. Don't take no for an answer. Don't worry about if it fails. If you got friends who are going to give you a hard time because it didn't work, absolutely ditch those friends, right? They're not supportive. That's a tough one. There's a lot of people who hang out with loser friends, and it can be tough to get away from. But
I've got a kid who does my YouTube thumbnails because I used to do them myself, and I was able to get by, but it wasn't like professional. Like, I'm not a graphic designer. I'm not like super duper creative. I don't even know how to use Photoshop. I was using Canva, which is fine. But here's a kid. It's funny because I saw that he was making some graphics for other people, and I'm like, holy crap, this is amazing. And he's like, oh, these suck. He's like, these are horrible. I'm like, dude, these are like really freaking good. Like really, really good. 16 years old. He's in Mexico. 16 years old. And he's screwing around on Photoshop, making these phenomenal thumbnails. And he's like, man, like, I'll make them for you $3 each. And I'm like, dude, I'll give you 10. I'm like, I'll give you $10 a piece, man. Like, it's crazy, like how in depth these thumbnails are, but it's crazy. Like, people don't realize what their strengths are. And I've dealt with this personally, man, just with my YouTube channel and stuff. A lot of, there were times where I wanted to be like $1 million eBay seller. And it was just like, I loved selling on eBay, but I didn't want to like have a warehouse. I didn't want to hire all these employees. And like, I was trying to be something that I wasn't. What I was really good at was getting on camera, helping people, interviewing people, networking with people, bringing opportunities to other people, kind of like with what you do in a sense. So it's like, you've got to find that. How does someone become self-aware? Is it I know you had mentioned asking your friends, but do you really have to think about, okay, what do I enjoy? What do I kind of get lost in? What do I like to do? Are those some of the questions you start to ask yourself? Or
yeah, I think there's some of that. And there just like you said, that kid didn't think he was good, right? Like it's called impostor syndrome, right? Where people are really good at something, but they don't believe it. And I suffer from it, right? I'm like, guys, this isn't hard. Like just do it. And when I show someone how to do it and like kind of hold their hand and walk them through something that I consider very simple, then they're very grateful and they're very thankful and appreciative. And you do that enough times where you start to think, you know what? I am providing a lot of value to this person or to these people or to this group or to this class or on my videos. And it's something like when you're really good at something, it seems easy and simple. And it's easy to project. Well, if I think it's easy and simple, other people must think it's easy and simple when it's not. And someone told me this, and I still remember it. They said that I make the difficult look easy. And I was like, you know what? You're right. Like what I do is difficult. I do make it look easy. And when it looks easy and everybody's like, oh, I can do that. I can do that. But when you're good at something, when you can make the difficult look easy, be like, okay, now is there a way that I can monetize that? Is there a way that I can use this to help other people? And, I think the kind of the last straw, I think for a lot of people to really realize that they have valuable information or that they are actually helping other people. Is my time worth money? Is my time valuable? Would I do this for free? Like, should I be charging for this? Like, would I go and help this business for 4 hours today for free? And if the answer is no, then you're like, that makes sense, right? Because my time is valuable. My time is worth something. So when I go and I help them, it's worth it to them. They should be paying me, and they're happy to, right? And then it's about I don't want to just say thing. It's almost like a brainstorming thing. I wish a lot of people would go to conferences this year and meet other people and sit down and be open about what they're good at and what they want to do, because you're going to find other people are going to give you great ideas.
Oh, I agree.
We had some ideas here earlier in the show. We had some ideas before the show started. And here's the thing, and this, like they say, there's no secrets. This is one of the things I do consider a little bit of a secret, and I call it doubling down. If you're going to learn something, if you're going to get good at something, practice something, invest your time in something, make sure that something is something that other people would also value, right? Like, stop and think about that, everybody. Like, make sure what you're learning is something other people might be interested in learning as well. You want to learn Facebook ads? Good. That'd be a good one, because then you can help other people make Facebook ads, right? You see that kind of the connection. You want to learn FBA? Good, because there's other people who want to learn FBA. You want to be really good at formatting Kindle ebooks? Good. There's other people who want to format. Yeah, like there's anything like that. And I give this example. My little boy's, I need to quick call him my little boy. He's 10 years old now. He wanted to learn how to program or to program games. He wanted to design a game from scratch. So we got him this, it's just trial software of Game Maker 2. And it teaches you, got all the videos and everything to make a game. I mean, he's coded this game from scratch. He's got a little guy that comes out, it spins around, it shoots the bad guys, they respawn, it keeps track of the score, the background scrolls, like everything. It's all lines of code, not like, blocks, right? We're like, do this, and it'll, fancy stuff. And I told him just last night, I was like, you know what? You get really good at this. There are going to be other kids just like you who are doing what you did last week. They're going to get stuck. They're going to want help. You could make a YouTube channel from your perspective. People aren't interested in learning how to make goofy little cheap games from me, but from a 10-year-old, now they might be interested. So it could be something you do online. It could be something you do in person. You say, hey, we're going to do a game studio over here. Bring your laptops and we're going to learn some coding. There's a lot of parents who would be interested in having their kids go through something like that. And the example is learn to code some simple games. And then you can teach other people to code simple games, because there's plenty of people who want to do that. And if you help other people, you can charge money. And then it's just putting the pieces together. And that's where it does get complicated. You want to have a YouTube channel, but you want to have an email list building link in the description. And where does that go to? And what do they get once they sign up? And do you do a double opt-in? And then you set up a drip campaign where they get an email every week to get started. And like, if they don't open, do you drop them off? Yeah, it's complicated. It's hard work. But if you want like the rewards, then put in the work, right? But that stuff's easy once you know how to do it, right? And you can find people that'll help you. But you got to figure out where you want to plug yourself in, because you could even be the guy who sets up the email campaigns for everybody else, right? Like anywhere you can plug yourself in, whether you just happen to be good at it or really enjoy it, or I don't know, maybe you're not good at anything, and the only thing you can do is set up, ClickFunnels lead pages is something for people. I don't know everybody's deal, but dude, it's January. People should start looking at conference schedules right now, figuring out which ones they're going to go to, commit to at least one, even if you got to drive there, save the flight. I mean, they're all over the country. What
are some conferences that you know of that are going on this year? Because I actually just booked for March. I'm going to 3 conferences, and one of my goals is I want to, I'm going to see Russell Brunson, Funnel Hackers.
Speaking of, that's going to be a big one, man.
going to see Tony Robbins, and then I'm going to a private label conference right at the same time in Vegas with ASD. So I'll probably be bouncing around. It's going to be crazy over there. But
good luck keeping up with everything.
I know it's going to be crazy, man. Anything that you know of off the top, and I'll link it up for people to go check out.
Well, it depends what people are into, right? That's kind
Amazon. Let's talk Amazon.
Kind of the theme of the show, right? So I forget, Seller Labs is putting on one they call Resonate. You probably have to Google that for the link. Jim Cochran puts on one called CES. Mark from Bubble Fast puts on one called Ecom Chicago. CES will probably be in September, I would guess. Ecom Chicago's in October.
Later on, yep.
The Rocky Mountain Reseller Conference, I think, is on again this year. I think that's a June.
Yeah.
I think it's a June one.
Colorado, I think.
That's a good one. I really enjoy that one. And there's probably some other smaller ones that people are putting on. People are starting to do the retreats, right? Like the wholesale guys are putting on one. Wholesale formula guys, I'm sure, have one. And really just join the Facebook groups and people are going to start talking about these things. But at the same time, I tell you, I've gone to these conferences since they started, since there was only one conference, the Sellers Conference in Seattle. And that was 2010. So that's 8 years ago. That was the only conference. And now you can go to a conference every month, right? There's tons of them. I would much rather go, and I say this as someone who just knows himself and knows what I'm kind of trying to pivot into and knows what I've already been to, right? Like another Sellers Conference for me, like I've been there, right? Like it's fun. We go drink beer and we sleep in and either I'm there as a vendor or as a speaker or whatever. I would much rather go to the Craft and Hobby Association Conference, which is actually like this week, believe it or not. I forgot it was in January. I used to speak there a few years ago. I spoke there like 3 years in a row. The Craft and Hobby Association show, because I used to walk the floor after I did my presentation. And that's where they have all the die cutting machines and the embroidery machines and the vinyl cutters and the large format printers and the stamps and the like everything. And when I see this stuff and I'm thinking Amazon custom, Amazon handmade, Etsy, Facebook ads and pages and Instagram. Dude, I am convinced that you could sell anything if you're good at photography and Instagram. Because I see things dude, look, that looks sick. Like that's a cheap piece of crap. It's just got an amazing photography. And that's all it is. We should pull up some examples of like, that is enough. That's a $20 Chinese product, but it looks amazing because of the video or because of the photo, because whatever it is.
And you can target anybody nowadays. Anybody. Like you can with Facebook ads and Instagram, like you had mentioned. What's it called when you reach Instagram influencers, man? Like you take a good picture of something, you could run ads to like a person who likes this dog, who has a birthday at this date, who has an income. It's crazy. Yeah.
And you can make these, I love the idea of the on-demand product. So we're talking like handmade or custom or Etsy type product. You can have custom, the supplies. Yeah. And when you get the order, then you make it, which is one reason why I really like merch, because like there's no cost, right? You don't have to buy t-shirts and store them and all this stuff. Exactly. That's the reason I like the self-publishing options, because it's physical products. It's a physical book, but you don't have to buy anything. There's no inventory. It's printed on demand. And if you can do that with custom and offer really cool stuff, and when it's custom, people will pay a premium. They're like, oh, this is a wedding gift. So yeah, I'll pay a premium if you can create actual quality stuff. Dude, they got laser cutters, engravers. We didn't even talk 3D printers where you can 3D print things as the orders come in and make these amazing custom things and sell them to people. To me, that's much more interesting, not just like for the fact that it's interesting and cutting edge and 3D printers and technology and all this stuff, but guess who wants to have a home-based business making extra money any hours of the day? Everybody. I want to be the guru of that. I don't want to be the guru of FBA. I don't want to be the guru of Amazon. I don't want to be the guru of merch. I want to be the guru of I'll help you make extra money from home any hours of the day. All you need is a computer, and you don't even have to spend any money. Because that market is very, very big. That's everybody. Everybody wants to make an extra $100 a day. And with the internet, probably 85% of it being Amazon, that's entirely possible to make an extra $100 a day. So I'm not interested in like making $1 million by teaching other people to make $1 million. You heard people say that. How do you make $1 million? Well, you teach people to make $1 million. Forget that. I can't teach you to make $1 million, right? But you don't have to make $1 million to be in the top 1%. Top 1% in this country is making $400,000 a year. That is that's very realistic if you go all in on Amazon, right? And if you're not 1%, hey, if you're making $200,000 a year, that's really good, right? Like it's not top 1% good, but it's really good. But a lot of people would be thrilled, not with $200,000 a year, they would, but they'd be thrilled with $100 a day. They don't hate their job. They like their benefits. They like their coworkers. But extra $100 a day, an extra 36.5 is really going to change. They said that they change your family tree, right? Like that's going to put my kids through college. That's going to mean we can take real vacations. That means we can like not have this beater car. That means we can move into that house in a few years that we were looking at. And that's just $100 a day. And if you listen to this entire podcast, this entire video, you're like, I don't think I can make $100 a day with Amazon. You're crazy. Like you should just stop watching YouTube videos altogether, right? We're talking $100 a day. We're talking like extra hours, right? You put the kids to bed from 10 to 2 in the morning. You work 4 hours and you make $25 an hour. You don't think you can provide $25 an hour worth of value to somebody when you understand Amazon and the internet? Like it sounds so low. It's like $25 an hour. Like that's nothing. Well, that's what you can do. That's minimum. You can start making $1,000 a day. But I like having a round number to start. I want to help people start making an extra $100 a day or make their first $100. And then to me, they're off to the races. And this is like, a decade experience with this. They have the confidence. Once they have the confidence, they don't need me. They don't need you. They just needed that confidence to be like, wait a minute, I can do this. Wait a minute, I can publish a book. Wait a minute, I have 10 t-shirts on Amazon. I can do this. And then you're honestly off to the races. And I say that because I've seen it time and time again. Retail arbitrage in the store. I'm thinking, what am I going to tell these people? Like, there's no magic. So we scan something, and I'm like, look, you'll make this much money, and Amazon's not even selling it. They're like, oh, it's that easy? I'm like, yes. What did you think all my videos were about? You out there like magic, like edited, or like no. And that's all they need. They need to see me in person do it. And I'm like, I think that's crazy. I don't know why you didn't do it before, but if that's what it takes, whatever. I'm not going to fight the process, but that's what I've seen. People need the confidence. So if anybody listening, watching, if you don't have the confidence, post a question below. Post whatever question is preventing you from starting. And either me or Steve will hop in here and we will answer. I don't care if it's years later. We will hop in and we will answer your question, but then you got to take action, right? Because there's no secrets to this.
Yeah, that's really it. So ask yourself, what are you good at? What's something you're interested in? And take action and try it and give yourself a chance. These things aren't going to happen overnight. I don't care if it's Amazon Video or Merch by Amazon or Amazon Custom or FBA or Kindle Publishing Create Space, creating audiobooks to Amazon's program. It doesn't matter. I mean, Kindle Publishing, I don't even do that business. I don't even run it anymore. I spent about 6 months of my life building that business up 3 years ago. That business doesn't make $100 a day. It might make sometimes 50, 60, 70 bucks a day. But dude, I haven't touched it in 2 years, Chris. 2 years.
Dude, you would kill it, man. You got content. You need to be like, dude, if you got Kindle books up, you need to at least be running your 5 free days every 90 days.
Exactly.
Because a lot of places, they just pick up the free books to push to their audience. All they do is push whatever free books there are on Kindle today. So put them out there. And I don't know. I'll tell you this secret because I'm betting a lot of the listeners aren't going to actually do it, but you will, right? You need to have your Kindle books ready for Amazon Prime Day. Have them ready and put them free on Amazon Prime Day and the 4 days after Amazon Prime Day. And then max them out, like push them, promote them, rewrite them so that you have a call to action and some kind of funnel on the first page, some kind of offer, something. And put them out there, and people are going to download them on Prime Day, and they're going to go to the top of the charts in their little subcategories, and then they're going to stay there because the next day they're going to be in the top of the charts in the free section, and people are going to download them because now they're the top sellers, and it's an upward spiral. And by 5 days, dude, I had 7,000 downloads on my books on Prime Day, and I only ran them for 1 day. I had 4 books in the top 4 e-commerce section. Online arbitrage, retail arbitrage, merch life, and just regular arbitrage.
Did you have an email opt-in for everyone in there?
Not optimally. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't. I'll rewrite them and have a new one uploaded.
Because I was going to ask you how many people had actually opted in, because I mean that's a whole nother story talking about email marketing and stuff. But getting their email is huge because you could just make so much money from it down the road, adding value to them.
Exactly. So it's what I said. This is what I did last year, and I'm going to be ready for next year. Right. So next year I'll have a better opt-in, a better offer on the first page. But last year I only did it the 1 day. So the 2, 3, 4, 5 days after, I should have stayed at the top, and I would have sold, I don't know how many, like 30, 40,000 downloads. And people download because it's free and they don't actually read it. But then a lot of people will open it and like say, okay, let's see what this is
your
about.
Brand too.
That's the thing, dude. In the screenshots, it's a valuable screenshot. They have the top 4 books in the e-commerce category, right? And then I don't know exactly how it flips over when you go from a top seller free, then it goes back to paid, but your sales rank goes up. Like you're in the mix, even though you didn't actually sell any for money.
It does, yeah.
So now you're up there, and now other, people buy what's popular because it's on the top of some list. Like there's no loss to it. So I tell you that. So whenever Prime Day comes around, which they're going to give us some heads up because they have to have sellers make sure that they have inventory levels and stuff like this. So it won't be a complete secret. Be ready to publish some Kindle books and send traffic there. But my new trick, I can't wait for it. Prime Day and the 4 days after, because you only get those 5 days every 90 days. So take all of them, Prime Day moving forward, and see what happens, right? But like the best part about this doesn't cost any money. This isn't, Steve, you got to like spend some money and buy all this inventory. And like, no, this is free with an incredible upside, right? Like that's the stuff I get most excited about.
You want to know what's crazy? It's sad. And, I hope this doesn't make anybody feel bad, but the truth is I've been doing this for a long time. I think I've got like 1,400 videos. Everyone's so scared about like sharing secrets. You want to know what's sad? We might have a couple thousand people listen to your secret. Guess how many people are going to take action on what you just said?
Sorry, everybody, but hardly any of you will.
It's like,
I hope you do though.
Yeah. I mean, this is the magic from any business I've ever built. Like I've never been the smartest, like not even close. I've never been the fastest. I've never been the most innovative. But the things I've succeeded with, and you as well, Chris, it's because you take action. And the cool thing is in 2018, a lot of these things you could take action on. I know this isn't Amazon, but like a YouTube channel or merch by Amazon, or I'm assuming Amazon Video, because I have one video I upload to Amazon Video, dude, like a year ago. That video makes $7 every single month. Every single month.
Imagine
one video.
100 videos. Right now it's
1,000. I mean, it's crazy, but a lot of these things I'm trying to say is you could put in work for a duration of time and then it could pay you dividends for years. Obviously, we've got to continue to water that garden because everything that, put any attention to slowly will die. But I mean, spend some time, merch, FBA. It's crazy.
People are worried. This is a Gary V thing, and we went through the whole show. We only mentioned Gary V once. Where he says the big thing that holds people back from starting and trying these things is being worried about what other people think, whether it's their friends, whether it's their family. Like that's a real thing. Like I get it. I feel it sometimes when something doesn't work.
I've dealt with it for years.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm going to hear it from this, or my wife's not going to be happy, or like, what are my parents going to think? And this sucks. And basically, you just got to get over it. Like there's no way around it. You need to like say, okay, I got one life. Am I going to try this merch business out? Am I going to try to publish my first book? Am I going to try to build a YouTube channel while my mom laughs at me every day? Let her laugh, right? Like, oh, well, or don't do it. And 15 years from now, regret it. Right. So like, we want to help you get over that fear, that concern, that like whatever you might want to call it, because you're going to be happier for it. Like you got to kind of maximize your happiness, and you can't make everybody happy. I don't know if this is a Steve Jobs quote, but it was I saw it on it. Someone put on a picture of Steve Jobs. I don't know if he actually said it. He said, if you want to make everybody happy, go sell ice cream. Don't be a leader. I think if you want to make everybody happy, don't be a leader, go sell ice cream. And I think about that all the time because I do want to make everybody happy. I am aware that I want to be liked, right? In a world where people don't have to like me, right? So for me to like want that is a silly thing. And if you want to like lead and teach and help and all these things, you're not going to make everybody happy. But if you want to make everybody happy, sell ice cream. Everybody will be happy. There's no one who's going to come hate you because you sell ice cream. So you got to figure out what you want to do. You want to sell ice cream, or you want to change your life, right? Or change your family's life, or change your kids' lives. You want to put in the work now so that your kids can do different things. That's up to you guys. So you got to figure out why you want to do this stuff, right? Like you got to wake up and look at your kids and be like, yeah, I'm doing it, man. I'm going to start. And if you don't know where to start, again, ask questions here. Join any number of Facebook groups and ask questions. And if you get heat from somebody, if you ask a simple question and they give you like some kind of snark answer, or they tell you to go read something else, newbie, find a different Facebook group, right? Because there are a lot of good ones out there, but I don't want anybody to like get shot down. And I know what happens. I've seen it happen. Someone starts, they ask a question, they get shot down, and they give up. Like they get frustrated. They're more emotional. They don't have as thick a skin. That's real. There's real people like that. And that's one thing I've tried to do is to always stick up for the newbies. I've met a lot of great people who started off super rookie, like really like basic questions. You almost want to say these are dumb questions, man. Like you don't need to ask. If you got to ask these, you're in trouble. Where they turn out to be like they weren't really good at Facebook interaction, right? So they didn't realize how it came across, or and they're all real people. Everybody asking questions is a real person. So it's my biggest challenge, not to keep the show going late. Wow, it's already
sure, yeah. We're having fun, man.
I try to balance Facebook, and you've talked about my Facebook groups, like 54,000 people right now, and it's still growing. It's trying to balance helping the newbies content to the experience at the same time. That is very difficult. Very difficult, because I don't want to delete newbie questions and like kind of discourage them. But if I put in too many newbie questions, the pros are gonna be like, I'm out of here. This is just a bunch of newbie junk. So it's tough, and I want to help both. I'm not gonna be like screw the newbies, and I don't want to be like the pros are like my peeps. So,
and the hardest thing, man, sorry to cut you off, but there's always so many more newbies coming in than pros, because no one ever lasts that long. Let's just be honest. Everyone always gives up. Everyone always quits before.
Yeah. But you don't know who those people are going to be, so you just try to help them all.
I know. Yeah, I mean, I've dealt with that before. It's hard.
It's getting better. And Facebook groups are giving more admin control, as you've probably seen.
Yep.
Here's a trick. I don't know if you tried this on yours. On the 3 questions you get to ask when newbies join or when new members join.
Yeah.
Ask for their email address. and preface it saying, would you like my clothing identification guide? If you'd like my,
so then you have to manually take that and then put it in your autoresponder, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's not integrated with anything, but you'll find that you'll probably get more than half the people who join your groups will easily give you their email address. I saw Nathan McAllister on his banner image, his header image in his group, said, get your 3 free gifts at fbatoday.com. So, and I'm sure he just set up the page where you go there. It's an email opt-in. You get 3 free, and it says you get my FBA guide and my whatever. It's like, it's a very simple image. You see it every time you come to the group. It makes sense. And it's a simple domain. It's like there's nothing complicated about it. I'm like, dude, I need to do that, but I need to like set up the domain. I need to have the capture. Like these are real things.
It's crazy, man. We could go on and on. The freaking mini chat robots going on. People are killing it with that. It's
Messenger marketing.
Have you messed with that yet? Because I just started like 3 weeks ago. I've got like 380 people on. Dude, the open rates are like 90%.
They're 90% now, just like email open rates.
I know. It's
back in the 90s.
I know.
Let me give this. What are you using? What page are you using?
So I use mini chat, and you can create like a landing page on it. So like,
right, but what Facebook page are you using to run it?
What do you mean? Oh, I'm using I'm trying to think. Oh, it's off of my Raiken Profit fan page.
Okay, so you've got your Steve Raiken personal page, personal profile. Then you got Raiken Profit.
Yeah.
But that makes sense. I'm starting to notice that the bots that I've interacted with, I'm real easy to ignore them when I know their companies, right? So you're kind of in this middle zone where it's still your personal, even though it's Raiken, right? So it's a little different.
Yeah.
But people are going to think it's personal, which is good. You're going to get better open rates because I've got my public figure page and my profile page. So you can only run currently a messenger bot through pages, not profiles. For those listening, that's where you get likes, not where you get friend requests. If you're going to use it, depends what you're using it for. Me, trying to build a personal brand, it's absolutely perfect because I can use the same image on both and the same name on both. So now it really looks like Chris Green Personal is in Messenger, even though it's a bot. And I say that I would never fake a bot, right? Like the message would be clear it was from a bot. I would never want anybody to think they're chatting with me personally.
But people think that though. I get messages. People think it's me, and I'm not trying to do it like that. But it's so new. Yeah. People don't even know this technology exists. They think that Raiken Profit is sending them this.
Yeah, they know you as Raiken Profit, which is good. And the engagement and the open rates are just through the roof, which is why people need to pay attention to it. Because at the time a lot of brands get into this, it's gonna be harder to cut through the noise, right? It's gonna be harder to get those open rates when everybody's doing it. So there's that advantage we talked about a little bit earlier about being an early adopter, being first, taking the time to understand it and experiment with it, when it's not giving you that return, right? You're like, but you see it, right? Like I see it with Messenger, like without a doubt, that's going to be a huge platform, just like merch, just like FBA. And people need to, when they see something that they believe in, I want people to be able to kind of cut out the noise when someone says Messenger bots, that's stupid. Well, that's their opinion, what they're allowed to have. But if you think it's good, go all in on it. Like if I had listened to people say FBA was stupid 10 years ago, I wouldn't be here today. Right? Someone else would be the king of FBA and Amazon and all that stuff. Someone else would have been the first to write books and the first to make software and the first to make videos. You know, not that I'm special. I just happen to be first. So believe in your ideas. I know it sounds kind of hokey, but when you see something, you're like, dude, this is hot. This could really turn into something. Then go for it. Because I guarantee it's cheap to test. It's cheap to try it. It's fast to see if anybody cares about it. You know, and if you fail, who cares? You didn't spend much money. It didn't take much time. But at least you tried, instead of like, oh, yeah, I didn't even do it because, you know, my neighbor said it was probably dumb. Like, what a regret. Like, that should kill everybody to think that, like, oh, I didn't do it because my neighbor, who I don't even like, said it was dumb. Whatever. Like, you need to quit listening to people like that. Get those people out of your life, right? Start hanging out with better people.
Cool. So I think we'll end it at that. You know, like Chris mentioned before, bunch of conferences going on. I'll try to link some stuff up in the show notes below. But if you guys haven't already, be sure to join Chris's free Facebook group. It's just Merch by Amazon. If you type that in, right, you'll come up first.
It should come up. It's facebook.com/groups/merch life. That's the name I gave it at the beginning. But it's called The Big One. So if you search for Merch by Amazon groups, join a bunch of them. Mine will be the big one.
Cool. Anywhere else people could follow you, Chris?
Oh, they can find me facebook.com/Chris, chrisgreen.com. And I got to get this site up now. By the time you publish this video, is my next platform or like project that I'm going into. Just like I talked about helping people make an extra $100 a day, extra100.com, extra100.com. I want that to be my new destination for people who are like, yeah, I want to learn how to make an extra $100. And that's gonna be the resource place for you, because that's, like I say, kind of my sweet spot after doing this for so long. That's the place that I feel like I help the most people, is helping them make their first $100, and then they're off the races. They don't need me. They don't need you. They just need some confidence. So whether they get the confidence from me or you or anybody else out there, we just want them to get it and move forward.
Cool. Awesome. Chris, appreciate you coming on, man. I'm sure I'll be bumping into you at some of the conferences. Thanks for all the knowledge. Guys, check the links below to, follow Chris on Facebook. I'll link up his URL to his Merch by Amazon group as well. And thank you so much, Chris. Hopefully we'll have you on maybe again by the end of the year. And I'm sure there'll be a lot more updates and changes to Amazon, because that's how Amazon likes to roll, which is good.
It is good. It's awesome. Thanks for having me, man. We'll do it again.
All right, man. Appreciate it, Chris.